Alright, let's talk about headphones. Not any of these headphones in particular, just about headphones in general. We need to discuss the different types of headphones, because if you don't know what the hell those are, then you don't even know what the hell you're looking at. I guess we'll start with on and over ear, sometimes referred to as supraoral, which is on ear, and circumneural, which means around ear. I don't know. They're real close terms and they're dumb. Just say on or over ear. Obviously, the Koss Sporta Pros are very, very on ear. They just sit on your ear. Things like the Koss Pro DJ 100s. No one's ear is that small. These are also on ear. The point at which things actually go over your ear, or legitimately go over your ear, is something like this. These are the extra brainwaves pads. Here's my 280 Pros. And even though these are over ear, they're very shallow. So, again, these terms, no one's going to get a slide rule out and say, oh, this qualifies and this doesn't. Anyone can say anything they want. Beats claim over ear a lot of times, and I've never once put on a set of Beats that didn't touch my ear. So, that's just a size difference. That's the only difference between on ear and over ear. On ear will touch your ear, and over ear gets big enough so that it doesn't have to. Now, once we're out of that, that's simple enough. Now we're going to talk about open and closed. And then there's semi-open in the middle, which I don't have anything semi-open here. But, closed is this. Closed. Speaker on one end, or driver on one end. And then nothing's open until that's it. Just the hole where the driver is. These, 770s. Driver, solid plastic cup. Open looks something like this. I could see the driver in there. There's a dust cover in front of this, a little piece of felt. Or else you'd just be able to see it. So the speaker, just like that's a speaker there, there's a little speaker in here, there's a little driver in here, and you can see the back side of it. So it throws sound in, and it throws sound out. And the difference between, and this is a planar magnetic, so you could definitely see that. And that does the same thing. It throws it in both directions. Have you ever taken a radio into the bathroom and you know how that sounds? That's what a closed headphone is, essentially. You're taking a speaker and you're putting it in a very small space and you're closing it up. Like your car door speakers can be considered closed. They're not quite cabinets and there's some leaky air, but you're getting them in there. And if we're going to talk about the generalizations of why you should want either of these, if you work in a noisy environment, you're going to use these in a noisy environment, you need the world to go away, closed. If you live alone, there's no dogs barking or wife screaming or children or neighbors or roommates, you can go open. See, that's the thing. You could always go closed. Well, if you need to hear people screaming for help, you probably can't. But if you can't always go open. You bring these to work. You bring these 300s or these 400s to work in a cubicle, and your neighbors better really like the music you're into because they're going to hear every goddamn single syllable. And there's a benefit to this, and there's a benefit to this. So the benefit of open is when you put them on, if they're open enough, you're going to hear everything around you. Which can be bad if there's a goddamn air conditioner that won't shut up because it's hot. So if you have a noisy air conditioner and a fan and a fish tank or one of those humming goddamn filters, you probably want to avoid these. But if you've got a quiet room and you put them on, and you hear quiet room and you put them on, the actual sound will be different than if you use closed headphones, because I'm going to get all gay now and say it's going to sound freer, but it's going to definitely it's going to sound more natural. Because when a sound happens in real life, that sound goes that way, hits the walls and the ceilings, the floor, and your ear hears it. And if you stuck your hand in a trash can and snapped your fingers, it's going to sound a little off. And that's what closed headphones are doing. They're producing a sound, and they're using the back as sort of a box to brace it and reverberate. It's going to hit back and come forward, and you're going to hear it real quick. Where on an open headphone, that extra sound just goes away into the room. So things sound a lot more open. Bass sounds usually, this is again stereotyping things, usually an open headphone bass is a lot more natural, clearer. Sometimes it reverberates a little more. I'm going to say more. Some people might say less. Because I've had mixed results in either category. So, you want open headphones when you have a quiet environment and you want a very non-claustrophobic sound. A lot of closed headphones, people get claustrophobic. You put them on, you start hearing yourself breathing, and you gotta play music to overcome that. I still use closed headphones, especially if I'm on Ventrilo or something. I don't want people hearing my friends talking or anything. So, but I do own these 300s, and I do enjoy music on them a little bit more. Just a little bit more. It shoots out in directions. So, I hope I've made that perfectly clear that I have no way to tell you which one you want or need. You know, these will be very, very usually accurate. You will never see a person mixing in a studio with open headphones. So keep that in mind. Pleasure headphones, work headphones. You know, you can mix on beyer-dynamics. You can't mix on Headphones. There's too much going on that could screw with things. These are usually more accurate. You got a lot more control when you know exactly what's behind this. How much volume we have back there, Tom? I don't know, 4.738 cubic inches of air. How much we got behind this? Some random amount. And these are open too, these little things. There's a little... You know, obviously, these are the most open of any headphone ever on Earth. I've got stuff on them. Now I'm going to go into a subject that I don't think anyone's discussed, and that's pads. Alright, here are the Headphones. Here are the Headphones pads. These are pleather, which is plastic leather. I think that's what that stands for. And these are velour, or felt, or however you want to, call them. And I had an issue with these that if you use one or the other, everything is completely different. And I'll tell you why. Because pleather, you can't breathe through. I could suffocate you with a piece of pleather. So when you put this on your head and it's sealed around here and the cup goes back, the sound that comes through the driver this way, goes that way, comes out, hits your ear, and can't escape. Put your ear in a like a seashell. That's what you would hear with this on those headphones. Now these velour, are completely breathable. Air and sound travel through it and out. I put a set of these. I put this set under my brainwaves. I literally just unscrewed the brainwaves and, boom. All right, bam. I now have, velour padded brainwaves. Here are the drivers. See, there are the drivers. And I just put them on. And I tried those for a while. And you know immediately the drastic difference that pads can make. So, they lost bass. What happened when I went to velour over very, very... Actually, these might be leather, not pleather leather, but I'm not sure. Probably pleather leather. What happens when I went to these velours is they turned into open headphones. They sounded like open headphones because everything that was happening in the environment came right through this porous, open, foam-like surface and hit my real ear. And the sound got a little bit screwed up. See, these are designed specifically to be closed, completely closed. So when you screw around with them, they sound off. But open headphones are a little bit more of a guessing game. Like I said, pleasure, so you have a little bit of leeway. No one is gonna yell at you for messing with them. Well, that isn't true. A lot of people are gonna yell at you for messing with them, but it could very well be a preference thing. Which one of these do you like? The new ones, the new Headphones that aren't these two, the 400 I's, I think, have a combination pad. I just threw that on the floor. They have a combination pad. They have solid pleather on the outside here, the outside lining. The actual part that touches your head here is velour, and the inside is perforated pleather. So we have the sound traveling through small holes and then into this, but not out into the actual world. It's very weird. They're $4 a pair. for just the actual pads, and I don't think I have the stomach to get them unless I know they're going to make an improvement. Maybe one day. I've also put these pads from the HM5s. Just stuck them on things. Everything but these beyer-dynamics. Because the pads on these, I think, are attached with some sort of magic. Or pain. It might be pain. I think these are actually stretched around these cups. Which is a god-awful system. God-awful. Oh, another thing I should add is these pads. These pads are like shag carpet pads. These are crazy. And they look velour, but they stop sound. So they don't perform the same task as these. They do different things. And you can actually get these pads and try to shove them on other things because they are rather large, nearly the same size. So I started this thing off discussing different types of headphones, and now I'm discussing mods for headphones. But that's okay, because modding headphones is part of the thing. Part of the culture. My god, I've got so many pads now. There's pads. Pads everywhere. So what have we learned? Oh, I guess we can go into hard to drive or easy to drive headphones. They look sort of like... This is the order, I would say, of these headphones to drive. These are the easiest to drive. Just efficiency's sake. You know, you put a hundredth of a watt through it and these play sound. You need 2 or 300th of a watt, 500ths of a watt, and a half a watt, or whatever it is. I'm just bullshitting numbers right now. These are hard to drive. You got to look up when you're getting headphones. If you just say, "Oh, I want these headphones," that you have an amp that can push them. Because this VX1 has a real tough time with these 250 ohm 770s. A real hard time. I can get it loud, but only in the last quarter inch of the volume knob. So, be mindful. If you buy expensive headphones and you buy hard to drive headphones, you're going to be spending money on amplifiers. All the other three of these pretty much work on that. The 400s are close to the edge, but these are just power hungry bastards. The full reviews of these three are coming. I'm actually just waiting on the replacement cable for this piece of shit. Look at this. Look what I've had to do. On the first day I had them, I had to do this because I hated it so much. The ones in the 400 are better. It's just 10 feet long. And I don't... An attached cable? $225 and an attached cable? Are you high? Alright, we'll discuss these things later. Just generalizations of headphones.